All right, so it's another day. Love working in my shop, but you will notice that my bay is currently empty. But at the end of the bay and outside is a rusty old crusty Jeep that's been in this bay, this particular bay, for quite some time, probably a lot longer than it should have. And we did a lot of work on this thing, and I think it's time for phase one to be complete. I wanted to return it to the customer to where it's reliable, running and driving, and safe. Not necessarily everything got fixed. It needs all new wiring, but at least the brakes are there and it starts. So let's go through this thing and let's see what we did. He put on new tires. I put on the new soft brake lines, new hard brake lines, new drums, hubs, lugs, studs. All the e-brake internals were missing. We had to source those from a junkyard. The cables that run up to the trunnion, which is right there, those were all missing. Had none of that. It was really unsafe. Even the axe handle inside, this part here that you pull on for the emergency brake, it would just pull off in your hand. So I'm happy to say, and I'm actually exhausted to say, this thing is finally ready. And then once I got all the brakes done, the engine quit. I turned on the headlights, and somehow the ignition switch was wired into the headlight switch. What a hassle that was. So we replaced the 6-volt battery with an 8-volt battery to give it a little more cranking juice. I rewired the cables. I put in a great big ground lug there. The whole chassis wasn't grounded. And I got the ignition switch rewired, and now it starts on the button. And I think that's what we should do. We should probably take it for a drive. It's a fun old rig. It's really a funky rig. It's a one owner, or pretty close to a one owner. It has factory tinted glass, which I've never seen before. You look at that, it's dark. It's not paper or glued on anything or any type of tint coating. It's real glass all the way around. And this thing's a fun rig, but it is geriatric, slow to today's comparison. You know, it's 50 mile an hour top, but it's fun to kind of peel around. So let me open the gate and we'll fire it up and we'll take it for a drive. Let's go. Let's go, Jeep. Come on. You gonna go for a ride? Normally I don't take Stella with me on rides, but we're gonna go for an extended drive. She's ready. You've probably seen me do this more than one time. This is the hood prop, which slides. Oh, and you gotta be careful it doesn't fall on your head once you push it too far. And the hood shuts down, and then you latch it with these little doohickeys. I think we're gonna put a little gas in it just to make sure we don't run out, because the gauge doesn't work, and we'll be good to go. Goigle, goigle, goigle. Okay, let's take this thing for a drive around the block. Sure is a handsome fella. Look at that snout. So again, this is a 52 Willys Jeep 4-wheel drive. It has no air conditioning, currently has no heat, currently has vacuum wipers that don't work, no turn signals, no headlights, no brake lights, no dash lights, no lights of any kind, no horn. Let's take it for a drive. You got to scoot over. This is where the driver sits, over there. All right, let's see if it starts. That'll be a bonus. I'm pretty sure it will. So we're looking at our gauge cluster here. Fuel, oil. Oil pressure does work because it's a mechanical gauge. I don't think anything else does. And I know this is the headlight switch, and like I said, when I pulled this yesterday, it completely shut the vehicle down because the ignition was wired into the switch, and it just, I don't know, the wires are all cloth wrapped and they're boogered beyond repair, and I just can't I can't deal with them except for rewiring the ignition switch to the coil and to the battery. I think we're good. So we're gonna give her a little bit of choke, and we're gonna hit the floor starter, which is way down here. It's this thing here. Make sure it's in neutral. Oh, we gotta turn the key on. There we go. We're running. Got a little bit of oil pressure. We got a speedometer. We got our dog by our side. That's always a good thing. And these gauges I'm just going to disregard because that's just the way it is. So it's a 3-speed manual. So first is down. Take our brake off. It's off. Horn doesn't work. And we'll go. Let's try our brakes on. Whoop, I killed it already. Oh yeah, we got good brakes. That's awesome. Okay, let's make sure nobody's coming. Clutch is a bit squeaky. Come on, baby. Got a speedometer? No. Make sure we don't get hit by a dump truck. Oh, and there's a military jet going on board. Oh, this has a terrible turning radius. Oh, absolutely terrible turning radius. Okay. Reverse. And we'll back it up. And that guy's waiting for me. Back into first. Don't kill it. Try not to kill it. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. So we got first gear. No speedometer. Pulls hard to the right. Doesn't want to take throttle. Now we're moving. Oh, car coming. I'm going to jam on the brakes here. They actually work pretty good. Back into first gear. Look at this. Throttle. This does not want to take throttle. There we go. Give her a little more choke. Got a total dead spot in the throttle. That's better with the choke on. Carburetor might be cleaned out. Okay, this thing's got a terrible turning radius. So we're going to try and turn around here. Oh my gosh, terrible turning radius. Oh, back into reverse. And back we go. Okay, back into first gear and give her a little gas. Dead spot. Once you give her gas kind of aggressively, it's all right. Second gear. Terrible dead spot. And let's try third. Oh, geez. All over the road. There's so much slop on the steering. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to tighten something up there. Well, first phase might turn into dozens of phases. No power steering, of course. Oh, what a rotten turning radius. Unbelievable turning radius. In a bad way. Back into reverse. Make sure there's no trucks going to hit us. And in first gear again. Still got a dead spot. I think the accelerator pump isn't working. Oh, the steering wheel's got that much play in it. Okay, so much for that little drive. Pull the brake on. I mean, it's a neat rig. But woo, you want to come out? Come on. Come on. I got to figure out what the deal is with the play and the steering. That's a little dangerous. But it runs great. Doesn't make any weird engine noises. The brakes are sharp. Steering is awful in more than one way. Rides like a buckboard, but that's to be expected. But there you go. 1952 Jeep Willys, 4-wheel drive, kind of a wagon. Pretty neat little rig. Even with its quirks and old geriatric technology. Not too bad. Come here. Come here, give me some love. Give me some love, girl. Super fun.